Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. It has been a hot minute since I have recorded anything because my life has been kind of in shambles. No, that's a bit too much of an exaggeration, but it's true that I was a little bit in a reading slump at the end of October and into November, and life at work has been just totally crazy, which means that I don't have any time to read either at work or really have the energy for it when I get home. But enough about my crazy, sexy life, blah, 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 blah. How about you? Tell me in the comments how you've been doing and if you are going to be participating in the Reindeer Readathon. This is my Reindeer Readathon TBR vague plans. I definitely participated in the Reindeer Readathon last year and really enjoyed it, so signed up again this year. The Reindeer Readathon is hosted and created by Eric over at Break Even Books. I will leave a link down to that announcement video down in the description if you want to check it out. I don't know how much time there will be to sign up, but you sign up and you get randomly assigned to one of the teams. So this year I am Team Candy Cane, and the leader of Team Candy Cane is Lezlie over at the Nerdy Narrative. So definitely go and check out all the hosts, check out Lezlie, check out Eric, and yeah, it's always put together so well. There's always so many fun prompts. So I thought I would just kind of very quickly take you through the prompts this year and some of the books that I think I'm going to hopefully try to get to fulfill those prompts. The prompts are all named after the reindeer that pulls Santa's sleigh. So Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph, of course. So let's just dive right in. Dasher, the prompt is to finish a series or pick up a book that you have started and put down. And if neither of those are options, read a short story or a novella. So for the Dasher prompt, I am hoping to read Shipwrecked, which is by Olivia Dade. And this is the finished of a series. It's a brand new release. I think that just came out in November. And I don't know that it's the absolute end of the series, but it will be the most recent and final book that has been published in this series. And I really enjoyed both Spoiler Alert and its sequel. So I can't wait to dive into Shipwrecked. The next reindeer and prompt is Dancer, which is to read a book with a cover that has a cursive or flowy or elegant font. And for the Dancer prompt, I picked something random off of my TBR, which is The Griffin's Mate. This is a Kindle Unlimited title, and I think is sort of an alien romance, monster romance. Definitely has been something on my list for a little while, and I thought that the elegant font of Griffin fit this prompt. The next prompt is Prancer, to read a book with your favorite season on the cover, or the book cover has colors from your favorite season in it. And for Prancer, I chose Crumbs, which is a webtoon that has been turned into a comic, and I felt like the sort of gold and orange and yellow really were evocative of fall, which is my favorite season. So I went with Crumbs. The next prompt is Vixen, read a book that you want to read but think that it might be overhyped. And so for this, I'm going to finally get around to Morning Glory Milking Farm. This is another monster romance available on Kindle Unlimited, and I've heard a lot of buzz about this book, and it's been on my TBR multiple times in the past, but I've never gotten around to it. But I'm a little concerned that I have built up the hype a little bit in my head, so that is going to fulfill the Vixen prompt. The next prompt is Comet. This is to read a book with an astronomical word in the title, such as sun, moon, star, sky, etc. For this one, I'm actually going to be, this worked out perfectly. One of my book club books is The Calculating Stars, and stars has, fits this prompt. So I will be reading The Calculating Stars for the Comet prompt. Next is Cupid, to read a book with a favorite trope in it. I wanted to read a couple Christmas books this month, and so I found Tic-Tac-Mistletoe on Kindle Unlimited, which sounds like a Christmas romance, and it sounds adorable, and it sounds like it has sort of forced proximity, only one bed probably trope, and it just sounds like a bunch of fun, sort of stranded and strangers meet and fall in love. All of that sounds great, plus the Christmassy element made it definitely make my list. The next prompt is Donner, to read a book that you want to read, but you don't really like the cover. And a book that had just recently been recommended to me, or I think I saw recommended. I can't remember where I saw this recommendation, but the book title is another Christmas one, which is A Royal for Christmas. And this is another one that I really liked. I almost used it for Cupid because I like when there are royalty elements in the book. But this cover is just like a derpy looking guy. So I don't know, maybe I'm being kind of judgy of this cover model, but I felt like it could have been more interesting cover. And so I chose A Royal for Christmas for this prompt. The next prompt is Blitzen, which is to use a random number generator to find a number between 0 and 9, and then pick a book that page number ends in that number that you randomly generated. So I will be reading Things Past Telling. This is a book club book, and it worked out perfectly that my random number generator landed on the right number of pages for a book that I already had to read. So Things Past Telling will be fulfilling my Blitzen prompt. And the last of the reindeer prompts is Rudolph, which is to start a new series. I'm going to read. I have decided to read The Priory of the Orange Tree. This is a buddy read that I'm hoping to be reading with a couple friends, and we, for whatever reason, picked December, one of my busiest months of the year, to read this 850-page book. But it's been on my radar for a while just because so many people have loved it and it's made the rounds. So it is the start of a new series, and a bunch of the books on this list actually are the starts of series also, so kind of any of those could have worked for this prompt. But I do want to start reading and hopefully finish Priory of the Orange Tree in December, and if so, it will count for my Rudolph prompt. Now there are a couple extra like bonus prompts that you can use with one of your other books. And so there's Christmas Star, which is to read a book over 500 pages, which the Priory of the Orange Tree does count for. Christmas Lights, which is to read an ebook, and Christmas Carols, which is an audiobook. A number of my books that are on my list are Kindle Unlimited, which would all be ebooks, and most of what I read is ebooks and audiobooks. So I don't know what I'm going to have in what format. I do think that I have Shipwrecked as an audiobook out from my library, so I should not have any trouble getting some of those bonus prompts, assuming I can finish all the other ones. Definitely is I think, pretty doable list. I counted up the total number of page count, and I have accomplished that multiple months so far this year. Not every month this year. There's been, I think, three or four months that I was a little bit under this total page count, which was 3,320, but there's been multiple months where I've exceeded that by at least 1,000 pages. So we shall see how things go, but I am hopeful that I can accomplish this and earn a lot of points for Team Candy Cane, and we're obviously the winning team, so it doesn't even matter how many points I accumulate, but I'm going to try to do my best for Team Candy Cane. Let me know if you're participating in the Reindeer Readathon and what team you're on. If you are participating, leave that down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!